Guys, welcome to today's live stream. I've been late for a few minutes, 2 minutes. I've never done that before. But today, without wasting much of your time, I'm going to introduce to you a guest, and she's going to introduce herself. Then we will go immediately to our discussion. So, since I've been late, I have nothing to say. Let her join immediately. Mambo,
Yeah, poa sana.
uko salama?
Niko salama, labda wewe?
Niko salama kabisa. Long time.
Yeah, long time. How have you
Yeah.
been?
I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
Though we have economic struggle, so it's part and parcel of life.
Yeah, it's all over the world. And
And what,
yeah, we will manage.
and what about you?
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm managing. I thank God he's faithful.
So I've been late. I
What
was
about me,
struggling.
about the economy?
Yeah.
Oh, I introduced my
No. First about your economy. How is it doing?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Mm.
It's not okay, it's not that good, but still I cannot complain a lot.
Yeah.
God is ever faithful.
So since I've been late for I was late around 3 minutes, it's because of the network. First of all, I'm sorry for that. The guest should not be waiting for the what? The host.
Mm.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Are you getting me?
Hello, I'm getting you clearly.
So I'm saying I'm sorry for being late. The host should not be waiting
Hello,
for the
yes, I'm
host.
getting you.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
So maybe it's time you introduce who you are before we begin now.
Okay,
Hello?
yes, my name is Owala Karohera. Yeah, currently I'm teaching in my Forces Lanet Academy. Hello,
Yeah, nakupata?
are you getting me?
Yeah. Nakupata?
Okay. Yes, my name is Owala Karo. My
Yeah.
name is Owala Karohera, and currently I'm teaching at my Forces Academy Lanet. Yeah, and I'm also, I can say,
Yeah.
I like women. I like empowering women. That's what I do sometimes, yes. And I think that's all about me.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you
And
have
also an
just
accountant in making.
an content in making.
Yes.
So maybe before we go immediately to what we were going to discuss, last you were in the capital city.
Mm-hmm.
How was life there?
Life in the capital city is a bit hectic, busy.
Mm.
Everyone is in motion, and I think there's a lot of chaos in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, but food is cheap in the city. The
Yeah.
rent and transport is a bit expensive. Yeah.
So as we are aware, you left us. You have not moved. we're a bit scared to move outside there.
Or
How
you're
is
still
life
in
like
Eldoret?
there? Yeah.
Don't be scared. You need to get out and see these other areas. But life is good everywhere as long as you make it good.
But okay, even I was discussing with my friend today, I thought I will end up getting rust in Moi University. I need to move out of this. I will catch rust.
And you need to move out.
Yeah,
You need to move out and move to the city or any other place.
very true.
Yeah, let somebody run your business and then you move to other places.
Business is kind
Mm.
of stagnant, but we are trying. The most important thing is at least we have food in the table, but that's life where it's kind of we are
Mm.
saturating and there's no improvement. So that's my greatest fear.
Oh. I thought there's ready market in campus.
Ready market. These students have no money.
Oh, they're broke.
They're totally broke. I believe since Corona,
Mm.
things are not okay. People have been struggling, which is even
Oh.
kind of challenging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
so I think which of late, what have you
Yes.
been reading books? You used to read a lot of books, or you got some holiday.
Yes. I still read I still read
Yeah,
books though. Maybe the schedule might be a bit hard. Actually, I was writing my
yeah.
own book, but
Congratulations.
I still read books.
Your latest,
Yes.
your latest.
I love reading, and that will never change.
Which is your latest book
Thank
you have?
you.
Which is your latest book you have
My
completed
latest
of late?
book,
Yeah.
I was reading about the prayer of Jabez.
Right. I've never heard of that topic.
The, the prayer of Jabez.
Yeah. But now I remember you telling me your favorite book was what? Was of Mahatma Gandhi.
It's a good book. It's a good one. And then there's the 12 rules. Yes.
Jordan Peterson.
Oh, my experiments with truth by Mahatma Gandhi.
Yeah.
Or the 12 rules. Yes, the 12 rules is by Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, very true. Can we discuss
Yeah,
that
and
brief?
it's a very good book.
Can we discuss that briefly about the first topic?
Yes.
Even I was watching today the
Yes, you can.
so I was watching a video podcast by Jordan Peterson and Joy Rogan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was watching today
Yes.
the, that podcast, and one of the topics
Yes.
which they were arguing is about the first chapter.
Mm-hmm.
So you see
Oh, yes.
the first chapter is kind of it encourages kind of capitalism where competition is being encouraged.
Mm-hmm.
And now the
But
issue
that's
is
the
that
world we are living in.
yeah, that's the world we are living
The
in.
issue-
But now
Yes.
since you
Mm-hmm.
champion the what women empowerment,
Uh-huh.
the first chapter some women have issues. They don't want competition. They are saying that it's the whole issue of patriotic. So do you think that competition is
Actually,
nice?
as a woman,
Yeah, continue.
yeah, okay, competition is natural, just as there's this Darwinian theory. Like we all try to like we try to survive in an ecosystem. So competition, we cannot do away without it. Now that in that we have limited resources,
Yeah.
we just have to compete. And if you want to be at the top, you have to push yourself hard. That's why he's
Yeah.
telling us to stand up straight with your shoulders back. Like you
Yeah.
have to push yourself as a woman, as a man. If you rely on if you rely to be given something,
Yeah.
you'll be the extinct species.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you don't have issues with saying, let's say, you see, some women argue that maybe men have already the advantage that they should given the same share. For instance, they should given the equal pay. Anyway, what I want to ask is this: do you want equal opportunities or equal outcome? What do you prefer?
I think equal opportunities. Okay, like we should all just if you've qualified for something, then you
Yeah.
should get it. You should not be given something just because you're a woman. Like qualify, work for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that should be the case. You've been given something because you
Yeah.
deserve it. Maybe the disadvantage can be, as Jordan Peterson puts it,
Yeah.
most men, okay, most women have this the agreeable temperament.
Yeah.
We tend to be the emotional people, and we agree a lot to things. We don't pursue our goals as compared to men. But still,
Yeah.
I believe we should all work for what we deserve.
That's very true.
Yes.
I don't know what's wrong with my phone. It was almost crossing. So it's about all
Oh,
equal
sorry.
opportunity. It was all about
Mhm.
with equal opportunities, but we should not expect equal outcome. That we agree
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, the outcomes
So
will always be different.
the outcomes will always be different. And what chapter which is the chapter which you appreciate so much
Uh
within that?
for of the 12,
Yeah.
I think when you say set your house in perfect order before you
Yeah.
criticize the world,
Very true.
that is my best rule. Like you begin with yourself, you compete with yourself, you make yourself better before you
Yeah.
start looking at what the world is saying, what the world is doing. You make peace with yourself first.
Yeah.
Yes, that's my best.
And what I learned from the book is all about which I've already talked about the whole issue of you not and you not being comfortable with where you are
Mhm.
because there are high chances that it will kill your soul. What's your take on
Yeah,
that?
like I actually
Yeah.
nature, even for Christians, the Bible
Yeah.
tells us if you're not growing spiritually, then you'll die.
Very
You
true.
might be baptized today, but you have to read the Bible daily. You have to improve yourself. The same way Jordan Peterson is telling us to compare ourselves to whom we were yesterday, so that we better ourselves. When you
Yeah.
cease to improve, and like it's like you are dead. So I believe everyone should work to improve themselves, to be a better
Yeah.
version of themselves daily.
So I believe it's a nice book. It's really a
Yes.
nice book. And there's what's your understanding? This topic I found it so difficult to understand. Do not
Yes.
bother children when they are playing, when they are skateboarding.
Oh,
I was
I
confused.
think, yeah, he was trying to bring this concept that how
Yeah,
children are daring.
yeah,
I think the adrenaline is just so high that they want to try these weird things, and we tend we tend to prevent them as parents or as grown-ups, not knowing that they're building their personality. You see, when children are just confined in the house, they'll not grow. But if they grow out there, if they go out there and then they do these strange things, they grow. So he was just telling us, as we bring up our children, let's expose them to the world so that they may harden and develop a character. Actually, he's against people just sitting, people going for lower things. He wants us to aim for the higher levels in anything.
That's very true.
Yes.
So anyway, the definition of feminist is kind of what? It's kind of so challenging. But sometimes, why do you think that? Because for me, I've listened to most of his speeches which he gives and also talks. Why do you think most people hate, or especially women? Or I can say feminists, not most women, but feminists. And I'm sorry we identify yourself as feminist.
At why feminists hate who?
Hate him so much, Jordan Peterson.
Oh, why feminist? Okay, I don't think feminists hate Jordan Peterson. There are these people who call themselves transgender.
Yeah.
Actually, I like Jordan Peterson because he's against that. He says somebody is either a woman or a man. And then at some point, Jordan Peterson tends to like the personality of men. You know how men, like, they don't agree to things very fast. They're not like, let me say, they're not like women, as he says it. He believes that women, we are agreeable. And we can easily be, I don't know. But to some extent he's saying the truth. Yes. And then he's also telling us to be the best version of ourselves. I don't think feminists hate him. Only the transgender hate him because he tells them right on their face that somebody is either a man or a woman.
So that's okay. And now another issue which I would like to discuss. You have done online lighting.
Yes.
Now, what would you say? What would you say about online writing? Because I tried it, I don't want to give an opinion about it before you give yours.
Writing is good. It depends when you have the experience. You know, people tend to think online writing, as long as you can write, as long as you can type, you are good. But it requires dedication. It requires a lot of thinking. You know, people, like most people, especially of our generation, they like doing majoring on, let me say, mediocre work. They don't give their best in something. And writing, you have just to give your very best. If it's researching, research, and then you give your best. You just don't copy paste. Unlike campus where when people are given assignments, they could just copy paste and then collect. And it requires discipline and consistency. Maybe I think that's why so many people start and then they fail.
So maybe how did you start?
Okay, I was introduced to it by my boyfriend. He taught me well. I think he helped me in the journey, and then that's why I grew in it. I also had an attitude before. But he changed my perspective.
So is it something, because me I tried first, I wanted to register to start with my own kind of account. I went online and I found there is this, it's known as transcribing and something like and something like Scrippy. I don't know those two platforms. I tried the first one. I tried the first one and Scribby, within a short period of time, I was told I would have started immediately with the assignment, which or the test which they were going to give, and transcribe me. They said, what did they say? They gave me a test and I failed completely, and that's when I decided to quit. That's when I
Mm.
decided to quit because I even tried to do that assignment with my friend. We
Uh-huh.
also failed. We also failed. So I thought I'm just wasting my time, and it's like clear I'm not that person who can be stationary for so long time. Maybe we have a discussion, I can be seated for a long time, but if it's an assignment, I believe it's a challenge. So did you start your own account, or you it's kind of I see some people being given some assignments from certain accounts.
I don't have my own account.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you are kind of being supplied assignments.
Yes, yes.
So can you say was it worth it?
Yeah, it's worth it. It will pay your bills. It's worth
Only
it,
just
very.
bills. Only
Yeah.
just bills. Only just bills.
It will give you all your wants. If you
Yeah.
are dedicated, it can even take you for a vacation. Yes, it's worth it.
So if you compare it, you have said now you are teaching.
Yes.
What's if you compare it with the teaching at the moment?
Of course, I'll choose writing over teaching.
Why?
And the only good thing in teaching is that you are sure after every
Yeah.
month you'll be having a salary,
Yeah.
but it's not something that will sustain you. Unlike writing that, of course, it does not give you that security in other months, but you are sure when you are working, you'll get
Yeah.
something to cater for all the months. Yeah, I'll choose it
So
over teaching.
so now probably let's say a person is just starting out and you have no idea absolutely what you want to start where you need to start online writing, but you are kind of heard that online writing is good for making some cash if you are idle. Where should this person
Not
start?
idle.
Uh, I've said if
First,
that uh,
it's not something you do because you are idle. And that's where
yeah,
people go wrong. Somebody will just think like because I don't have a job or I'm here, let me do writing.
yeah,
It's something that you take as your personal job. If you want to succeed, you take it as your own job. The same way you create time to open your shop, the same way you create time to do the work. It's a job. And if you want to start, you first have to learn. Of course, there's some schools that teach people, okay, like the kind of some small schools,
yeah,
not official schools that will teach you through. Yeah, or even you can find friends to teach you, maybe at a small fee. And then after you've been taught and you're good, now you start doing practice. You look for an employer, and with time you'll be perfect. You'll get money and buy your own account if you
yeah.
if you already know how to handle it. But if you go to buy an account immediately without having the skills,
Yeah.
definitely it will be locked.
So and so for me, I decided to create an account online for free, and I never succeeded. Must someone buy an account?
Good things are expensive. Don't expect to get a cheap thing and expect to earn the same money as somebody who paid for it is
Yeah.
earning. Mm.
But I researched online and found out that maybe those two are the best for beginners. And you know how the internet entertains people that think things are easy.
Yeah, the internet can really, let me say, deceive you.
Yeah. So I was
Yeah.
deceived that Transcribe was transcribe me was the best in terms of payment for beginners and script, but things never worked out. But sometimes if I'm not interested in something at the same time, if I don't have passion for that thing, it's so easy for me to give up. So I decided to
Yeah,
give up.
yeah. If you don't
And
have
maybe
passion, it's give up.
yeah. So and maybe now saying talking about work and passion. What's your opinion on
Yeah.
work and passion?
Okay, honestly, I do believe in our current economy, maybe if we could have been among the developed countries, we could be talking about passion. Right now,
Yeah.
you go for money. You push yourself, you try anything. You passion.
Yeah.
Passion is not paying in Kenya. Not
So should
unless
you
you're
lose?
lucky.
Yeah. Should you lose your soul for money?
You're not losing your soul. You learn to love it. Nobody was born. Let me use this example.
Yeah.
We have doctors, we have teachers.
Yeah.
These kids were never born knowing that they'll be doctors. They grew thinking that they'll be doctors. And now they think it's their passion. Passion is something that is learned. When you're in any field, as long as it gives you money, you love it.
Really?
It's, yes, trust me. You go somewhere where you are getting a lot of money,
Yeah.
you'll just love that place and you'll give your best.
But I've also heard some people saying, you see, someone
Mm,
may end up earning a lot of money, but
mm.
it's not really happy. It's like it's just changed there, you know. It's not someone who even appreciates life. It's like, I was even saying that it's currently that the US most individuals are being depressed because they are doing something which they really don't appreciate. Even they don't have, there is no meaning in doing it.
Okay, I think people are
Yeah.
depressed because they overdo things, but not because what they're doing is wrong. We have so many ways of releasing stress. After work, you'll come back. If you invested in a good family, you'll have your family, you'll be happy. I don't see any reason why you should be depressed and that the job is giving you money.
But you
Like, I
see,
really don't believe in the passion. Mhm.
you know, I'm going now to pull all kind of my heroes. Now we argue on this. Even Steve
Okay.
Jobs, even Steve
Mm-hmm.
Jobs, you have
Yes.
heard of which speech which he gave.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Have you ever listened to the speech?
Yes, I read on the speech that he gave.
So he said that you are likely going to give up if you are doing something which you are not passionate about. So that's my
Mm-hmm.
view. Argument.
Now you see, people go for what worked for them.
Yeah,
It's not that he grew up knowing like he'll be the richest person in the he'll be among the rich people in the world. He just loved what he was doing.
very true.
And if you love what you are doing, it will work out. Just appreciate what God has given you and then work on it, love it. If you
But
keep on looking for something else, that's when you'll be stressed up.
But you see, from what you have, how I've understood you is that first you need to chase money. I also have another champion who it's money first. It's not about passion. Passion is going not to take you anywhere. Very true.
Yeah, it's
But
money first.
it's money first. That's very true. Because if you are surviving, you don't have anything, then kind of passion, those things you just need to put aside. Because first you
You'll
really
be
need money.
stressed with those with the passion.
Yeah. Passions don't really assist you if you are in a survival mode.
Yeah.
But if you really want maybe now to progress, you are kind of stable. That's why even some individuals argue that if you are working at a job which you hate, it's better now if you save some money, after which now you can decide
Mm-hmm.
that to make a risk and jump and do something which you are interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's why it's It's right
That's
to
right.
do it, but you need to weigh first the facts.
True.
So, and we have talked about online job. Maybe now female
Mhm.
empowerment. Female
Yes,
empowerment. Is it necessary?
it is.
Why?
Okay, you see, when you go back to history, I
Yeah.
think we've all done gender, it was gender roles and inequalities. I think it was SAS 302. You remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, initially women were really, they were not valued by the society. Like it was, they were meant to give birth and just take care. They're not even meant to go to school. And it's because of women empowerment, that's why we have girls going to school. And you see how that's important to our society right now. Economy will be so bad if it's only the man providing. But if we help each other in the family, then it will be better. And given the personality of women and the challenges that women face, they need some empowerment. Imagine, let me use this example. Somebody has been
Yeah.
pregnant for 9 months. You've gone home for leave. For you to come back to work, it's hectic. You need somebody to empower you, to give you a reason to go back there. And then after job, you have to come back and take care of your small child. Like it's very hectic managing the two. And then you find this girl, you see how we go through adolescent is different from
Yeah.
men. Men tend to be aggressive, like naturally they push themselves. They like something that challenges them. Unlike women who, okay, like we have a lot of oxytocin in our body that makes us to be, let me say, it makes us like to be, you see, the caring kind.
Yeah.
So we need somebody to tell us like you need to push yourself hard. Yes, and
But
that's why
now,
women need empowerment.
so, but now just saying maybe, yeah, I can't deny that there was some what inequalities before. But
Mm-hmm.
what's your opinion? Was that environment so what so conducive, for instance, for women maybe to go out there and start working on their own? Because if you are arguing from that point, there are some
Mm-hmm.
instances, for instance, during, let's say, for instance, the World War,
Mm-hmm.
those times it was not kind of secure for women maybe to go outside there and start working for their own. Do you agree on that?
Okay, actually, during World War, it's
Yeah.
when this feminism thing started. Because all men went to the war, and then women, now that they were used to staying at home, they were left hungry. They didn't have money, they had nothing. And because men went to war, the women now had to go to the factories and work. And if they could have been working from just the beginning,
Yeah.
then things could have been different. Maybe we couldn't even have had the war. But now all the men went to the war, and now women were left to take care of the kids alone. They don't know where to start from. They have to go to the factory, something they've never stepped on. You see the challenges.
Yeah.
So I think we should give people equity. Equity is key.
But let's say now, for instance, they say, for instance, there was an argument for,
Yes.
let's say, if women need to be empowered,
Mm-hmm.
should, for instance, feminists tend to think that, since I was watching another interview and there was a woman who was just saying that boys needed to be scared of women. It's like he was arguing maybe, as you have said, boys are aggressive. For instance, if a boy is in a primary school, high school, there are boys who are aggressive. So this woman was arguing that since a woman need to be empowered, a boy need to be treated in such a way he be scared of women. So what's your argument on this? Or your point of view?
No, that's
Should you
very
say that?
wrong. That's wrong. Yeah, of course she's not a feminist even.
Yeah,
Somebody saying that just lacks understanding and maybe does not know what the world, okay, I think does not have an experience with the world. You see, it
yeah.
doesn't mean that men have to be put down for women to rise. Women can still rise as the men rise. I believe so.
Now, in terms of environment, now, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
let me go to what? US, you know, it. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I tend to know even more about US compared to Kenya. So,
Uh-huh.
so in the US, it's kind of the
Mm-hmm.
black women are so empowered
Mm,
that men can't even breathe.
mm,
And the result is single mothers in the US are like, it's like a pandemic.
mm-hmm.
So now, what do you think is the source of maybe empowering a woman so much that you on the other side you doesn't empower a boy?
Okay, it's not okay. Of course, both should be empowered, but naturally, men are already empowered. They have the advantage of character, which is God given. And then, if a man is a man, you'll always put down a woman. You have all it takes, unless you don't believe in yourself. Like the way women have been created, like we're just powerful naturally. Okay, US can be a different case because maybe most people don't understand. I think it's the civilized world where right
Yeah,
now people think they can live on their own. It's not even about women empowerment. Even men themselves, even Jordan Peterson says, men
yeah,
want just to stay alone and not marry.
yeah,
Nowadays, women they think they can do it alone, and that's where the problem is. People forget that we need each other.
yeah.
Mm.
So, but you see, now the result is, for instance,
Yes.
they say if you are going to raise a family, maybe single
Mm-hmm.
mothers, if you are going to
Yeah.
raise kids you alone, more especially boys, they
Mm.
need a father figure.
Yes. True.
It results on there is high depression in terms of boys. Boys tend to commit suicide so much. So,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason is a woman has been, let's say, let's use the word empowered. It's kind of not even empowered. It's kind of oppressing the man in order for a woman to be seen as someone who is empowered. So do you see that maybe some people can take advantage of women empowerment in order to oppress a man, and in the end we are going to have like a corrupted society?
Okay, I don't think so. I don't think it's women empowerment that is making people okay, that's leading to high number of single mothers. There are
Yeah,
a lot of factors. Actually, look at most feminists like
yeah,
Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. She's happily
yeah,
married. So what happens?
yeah,
Things that lead to like the single parents. Sometimes even men themselves just don't want to take responsibilities. When they realize
yeah,
that the lady is pregnant, they don't want to take responsibility. They leave the lady alone. And now the lady is left with no choice than to raise the child alone.
yeah,
Sometimes it's just the society, the teenage pregnancies that leads to high number of single mothers, not necessarily women empowerment. Actually,
yeah,
women who have been empowered, they have families. Look
yeah,
at Hillary Clinton. She has a family. Like almost all the empowered women,
yeah.
women who have character and whom we can look up to, they have good families.
But
So these
what
other ones
about,
are not feminists.
but now what about, for instance, you say women empowerment? I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
I'm understanding the, but what I'm arguing is kind of are the feminists using this woman empowerment to oppress the men? For instance, let's say, let's say, in terms, let's say, for instance, if a woman does what? I saw another story where there was a woman who kind of, how can she slept with a teenager in, in school, and she was kind of, she even was not bothered. But now let's reverse it. If it was a man, do you think how was the situation would have been?
Okay. Of course, in Kenya, it's unlawful when a woman sleeps with a young man. It's also unlawful, and if action is taken, she'll be arrested. Just the same way when a man sleeps with a young lady who is a teen.
Yeah.
Yeah, when taken to court, they'll all be charged the same. And that's what women empowerment says. Women empowerment does not encourage women like to do, I don't know.
Yeah.
It does not encourage it does not encourage vices. Instead,
So
it encourages women to stand up for themselves, to go for the higher positions, to be women of standards. That's what
yeah.
women empowerment is.
So I'm going to ask these questions first, Adri. So also I have another issue. It's about now. It's also about the relationship and women and men. What's your opinion? Should a man, if a man sleeps with a lot of women, should he be, eh? And a what? And a woman sleeps with a lot of men. Should they be charged?
No, they should be charged the same.
Why?
Yes, they're all human beings and they've done a mistake. It's wrong. But
How is it? Yeah.
the society thinks men should
Yeah.
sleep with many women and women should only be with one man. And that is so wrong.
Is it really
That's
wrong?
no chauvinism, eh?
Is it really wrong?
It's wrong. Why should men sleep with many women? Then women should also sleep with many men.
So here is a good example which I saw. So how do you call that key which opens a lot of bad locks?
A master key.
What about a bad lock which is being opened by any key?
We are not using that in this case.
I'm just giving an example. And what's the argument
Okay,
is this one?
it affects.
The argument is this. For instance, a man accessing sex is not, it's not a 1-2 issue. You need to first to, it's like you need to hunt. But a woman can decide to sleep with any man. So that's,
so it's still wrong for both of them. If a man goes hunting for another woman and he has a lady in his house, it's wrong. It's immoral. The same way if a woman allows any man to sleep with her and she
yeah.
has another man, it's immoral. Uncouth behavior that cannot be condoned.
But we were talking about Jordan Peterson.
Yes.
The first chapter. I believe the lobsters, he argues that lobsters, it's kind of the one, let's say, who is a king, females tend to, it's cluster around the king. Is it true? Or I got that statement wrong?
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
So it's Jordan Peterson argues it's kind of, it's a human, what I can, it's an animal nature.
For people to tend to be around those who are aggressive in nature.
Yeah,
Women
even
like aggressive men.
yeah,
Mm.
and since they are the minority,
Who are minority?
this kind of men.
The aggressive ones.
No, let's say let's even not say about the aggressive one. It's like, let's say, as most successful men, they are minority.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and so most women tend to do what? To
No, I
kind of
don't
what?
agree with that.
You are not agreeing that.
Mm. Okay, men are
Yeah.
successful in their own way. You don't have to be a celeb for you to be termed as successful.
Let me ask
As
you.
long as you have, yes.
Do you can you say, let's for instance, the let me use a musician. I hope you know Diamond. You know Diamond.
Yeah.
Do you think Diamond, the amount of women he is able to access is similar to any man?
Okay, of course not. He sleeps
So
with so
that's it.
many women.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like most women tend to go to those, let's say, successful men, maybe in terms of finance, good shape, kind of relationships, money, those things.
It's just money relationship. It's nothing more. There's no love there.
Yeah, the resources. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
resources. So
Yes.
that's why. So what I was trying to argue is this: these men
Mm.
are able to exploit those opportunities to even sleep with a lot of women.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that it is moral. It's just like,
It,
sorry.
it's just like,
It's just like he's exploiting the opportunities.
no, that's so immoral.
Why? And
Okay,
you are
we cannot use we cannot use Diamond as an example here.
I was just
Use
giving.
Jordan Peterson. Let's use Jordan Peterson. He's also popular. He has money, but he has
Yeah,
character. It depends
but
with the lifestyle that you want to live.
yeah,
If you want to live the lifestyle of Diamond, which is so, even the women that he sleeps with, they're
yeah,
not women of substance.
yeah.
Yeah, so we cannot use him as an example. Just look at real men who have really scaled up like through hard work. They don't
Yeah.
sleep with any woman, they just have one woman. And
Not that
even
they
most of
don't
them are
sleep,
single.
not that they don't sleep with one. Yeah. The issue we are arguing is this one.
Mm,
One is used to marry one woman. Let's start from there. Or
yes,
traditional. Where did monogamous start?
it's biblical.
Monogamous.
Yes.
Oh, Solomon had how many wives?
And that's why the Bible says he messed up.
He messed up. But
Yes,
let's
he's not an example to follow.
but let's so let's why am I confused? But what I'm trying to say is this thing. Let's say let's use even traditional African.
Mhm.
Were men limited to one wife?
They should. That was the right thing. Just that they wanted to exploit women. That's why there was male chauvinism in the past. They wanted to
What?
exploit women, but they were limited to one wife.
I've not got what you have last said.
Like I'm saying, they were limited to one wife, but because of
Traditional
the,
African.
yes,
One wife.
yes. It's just that they liked exploiting they liked exploiting women. That's why they used to marry many women and forcing them, even inheriting wives. But like what was meant, we read the book The River and the Source,
Yeah.
and we saw what Kembo did. He married one wife And that just depicted what was happening in the traditional African society.
But that's
like men, they were meant to marry one wife, but because they were given power, that's why they used to go and look for other women because of power that the society gave them. But it's not that they were supposed to marry more than one wife.
But from me, all I know, even my grandfathers, it's only my grandfather was, you have said about Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson, he was asked, why did you maybe marry one wife? He said one woman is enough trouble to deal with. Even my grandfather rejected to marry another wife. But traditionally, most men were polygamous. It's kind of nature. Men are used to be polygamous.
It's not nature. You see what happened?
Yeah.
Because they were given power, just the same way Uhuru was given power and he could grab all the land. It's not that grabbing land is right, but you see how a lot of land that they have, the Kenyatta family, because they were given power, now they grab. The same way traditionally men were given power, and that's why they could just go and, let me say, abuse women. I can use the word misuse them, but not because it was right, but they had the power. Women had no say.
No.
And that's why men had so many wives, but it's not that like that was what was actually right.
So
traditionally one man, one wife.
Go understand there. We will meet someday and argue on that. Most traditional men were used to a lot of wives. Very true.
They, of course, I'm not disputing that. They married many wives, but not because that's what the tradition said, but because they had power to exploit women. That's why they married so many wives.
But now you have argued about marriage. They say that, for instance, those arranged marriage work. They stay longer compared to nowadays marriage where individuals they just argue about the love. It's like in our today's marriage, people don't really care about, let's say, the survival of their family. People just go there with their own feelings. Can you dispute that?
No, I cannot dispute that. I agree. Of course, love is never enough. It's not always all about love. And any two Christians should live with each other. If you have good motives, you should always live with each other. Just that nowadays, the society has complicated things. So you have to look for somebody's looks and stuff. That's why my marriages don't work nowadays. But in the past, looks were not an issue.
So, and the past, these were arranged marriage.
Yeah, the past were arranged marriage.
Should we go back to arranged marriage?
Okay, we should not go back to that, but we should borrow some elements of that. Yes.
So, and now let's talk about this. Should a woman be judged by her past?
To some extent, yes. Character, but unless this person has, like, we are sure she has really converted. But sometimes it might come back.
Yeah.
That which we try to assume, like, let me say a woman was drinking and then she meets you and then she's like, she's no longer drinking. Someday when she's depressed, she'll go back to drinking after you've married her. So you look at the circumstance and the conditions upon which she did what she did in the past. If something you cannot deal with, you better flee.
Flee. Now, about our past, and what now I'm asking kind of from a woman's perspective. How should a woman judge, for instance, a potential man to marry?
Okay. You see, that differs from woman to woman. We all have different preferences. Maybe if you want me to be personal.
Maybe generally, not personal, generally.
Generally, I think you should always look for a father in a man. How does he handle like situations? Let me say, see, we are all humans, we make mistakes. How does he handle that when you make mistakes? Is he a problem solver? You see, you'll be depending on him
Yeah.
in almost all the solutions and the decisions. Is he ready to communicate? Is he evasive? Does he take
Yeah.
responsibilities? Is he hardworking? Yeah. And does he consider you in his plans?
So that's how you should judge. And now here is another question.
Mhm.
Should a man, who should be the head of the family? You know, some women argue a man
Mm.
that marriage is a partnership. Others say that a man is the head, is the leader, a woman follows. How should you frame that? Maybe I'm kind of confusing. How should women treat marriage to be? Partnership, or a man is the head of the family, women follows.
Okay, first, marriage is not partnership. You see, partnership has got some rules that you have to follow, and it can be dissolved anytime. And you can
Yeah.
always add other partners. Okay, I take marriage as a covenant, and always men should be the head. Just as I had said, you have been given an advantage of personality,
Yeah.
of being leaders, of providing, problem solving. Like God has given you an advantage over us, and that's why men should be leaders. But it doesn't mean you should
Yeah.
like despise your woman. She also plays her role. I think we can compare that to the body.
Yeah.
The brain, of course, controls everything, but the brain cannot work without the heart, the backbone, and all that. Yeah.
Let's move fast to finance. Do
Mhm.
you think that money plays any role in a marriage to survive?
Yes, a lot. Very. We need money for a marriage to survive.
So I thought you could argue that money is important. The reason I was asking that is as also the greatest reason why most divorces happen is due to financial issues.
Yeah, yeah.
So we are on the same page. So
Mm.
and there is another argument. They say women are more happy. For instance, if you are given your husband is a gentleman, nice person, does everything, he provides for you. If you are given that your husband is capable of giving you everything you want, what would you prefer, working for go and working, or would you prefer staying at home as how do we say, a housewife or a mom? I don't know. What would you prefer?
I still prefer going to work.
Why?
The society is so unpredictable. You might not know what might happen tomorrow. That's why every person should be able to provide. See, as much as he'll be rich today,
Yeah.
but what if something happens and he loses his job? Will you all stay in the house? And then
No.
sometimes if you are busy, if there's something keeping you on toes, you'll also be beautiful for him. You'll keep healthy. But if you're just stay at home mom, you'll attract so many diseases. You'll be lazy. You'll rarely wake up looking up for something. Like God created us in such a way that you should be able to work. Waking up and looking up to something, even if it's giving you small amount of money, as a woman, it's not bad. Even if it's just for your hair, so that he pays all the bills, it's not bad.
But they say women who does what? Who stays, let's say, at home compared to those, for instance, I'm arguing in a such a way that most people argue tend to say that women should work as same as women, but according to some research which has been done to say that those stay at home moms are more happy compared to those who work. So that's why I was arguing or
Armo?
asking you, more happier because they are more fulfilled, you know. It's like you are built to nurture kids. Let's say that you are more. That's why you find more joy or more fulfillments. For instance, taking care of your family as such.
Yes, of course, we find fulfillment when taking care of our families.
Yeah.
But in the current society, things have changed, and we cannot dispute that. When you're stay-at-home mom, you will not be as happy as somebody who is taking care of her kids and also like doing something. Let me say, maybe you have your own business that you control the time that you go to business and get out of it.
Yeah.
But when you just stay at home, you're waiting to borrow your husband everything, you'll be
Not
depressed.
borrowing. It is providing for you everything. Not borrowing.
No, you
Is
see, yeah, sometimes you'll have to ask him for money. Sometimes
sometimes.
you'll have to ask him for money. Yes, like he will not know all your needs. You'll have to tell him, I need this, I need this, which you could have provided by yourself.
Yeah. So
And
let's
then,
go and
like living, uh-huh.
continue first.
I was saying having a purpose in life
Yeah.
is very important.
Now another question is, should a woman first chase a career and then it comes to a family, or should he first start with a family? He has more time also to go for a career. Which is which?
I, I think these things they go hand in hand. Develop your family as you develop your career.
But some women encourage people to do what? To go for their careers, after which they should go for their families. While others oppose that one. They say start with your family. You have your whole time to further your career.
Okay, I don't think I'll go for the idea of start developing your career before you come to your family. What time will you have with your kids if your career is already established? Your career will need you more, and the family will also need you. But as you develop concurrently, the more your
Yeah.
kids grow, the less they need you. And the more your career grows, the more it needs you. So you'll have given your children their time, and also now you'll concentrate on your career.
Now you have heard of transgender women.
Yes.
From a woman's perspective, are those women?
They're not. Men are men, women and women. There's nothing like transgender women.
But they say there's freedom of speech and also you
No.
have you don't want some people to what? To divert towards your gender.
Shit. That's insane. It's just like, see, there was somebody was asking them, can you
Yeah.
decide if you are maybe 20? Can you decide, say that from today onwards I'm 40? Can you?
What? Pardon?
If you are 20 now,
Yeah.
can you decide, say that from today onwards you're 40?
No.
You cannot. So if you're a man, you're a man. There's some things that we just don't debate.
But what maybe why do you think maybe they are forcing this kind of issues maybe to countries like in Africa and some countries into Asia? You know, that's where those issues have not gone into as much.
Now, you see, when somebody does something bad, they want to influence other persons so that they don't feel guilty. That's why they're trying to force it on us.
So those are not the women. They are not the real.
They're
You were,
not.
Jordan Peterson were asking, do you think transgender are really women? What are, who are these really women?
Yeah, like, will you ask really women, like, and if they are women? See, now it's a question.
Yeah. So, and this is the last question. I want to maybe release you. Here is the issue. What in the US most women initiate divorce? Why do you think? What's the reason behind that? Maybe your thought on that.
Okay, I think nowadays the way people have been brought up, you see, even our social media, it teaches us
Yeah.
that we can be independent, we can live by ourselves. So people think they can live without men. Men think they can live without women. So that's where the divorces start. But later on, you find that these people, they'll go try and look for another man somewhere else because we're just meant to stay together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe your concluding remarks while he's saying giving an opinion. I see the boy child is being. It's like people are losing, let's say, intentions of what, or they have no reason maybe to nurture boys. Do you think people are losing a reason to nurture boys into good men?
I don't think so. I think men naturally are just created to be leaders, and no matter what women do, we can never overtake men. And that's one
But
fact that we
you
should all accept.
but here is the
We can
issue.
never overtake men.
Here is the issue. They say that, for instance, you are in a house where a man constructed, but you see that your house there, and do you use maybe any social media platform which you use, and you start either tweeting, taking photos, and saying men are trash. They feel kind of they are not appreciated. So the whole society is kind of each and every day treating a man as somebody who is an evil person. So it's kind of men are just detaching them from the society, detaching themselves from the society. So that's it.
I think it's two-way. You as a man, you feel like the society is it's like despising men, and we as women, we feel like the society is despising us. Like this social media thing talks negatively about both genders. Men will post how women are gold diggers, how women like they use those bad names. Women will post how men are trash. You see, all these things, they're two-way. It's not because that women are being empowered. These are challenges that's happening in the society, our current generation, and all that.
Okay, now your concluding remarks. I release you and I appreciate you for coming along. Coming along, I'm all through. This English is really challenging. It's one of the economic activities that has no good returns. So your concluding remarks, and I appreciate you
Actually,
for coming.
I also appreciate for being a guest here. And yeah, both women and men are important. As a society, we should try embrace each of them, and we should know that we are not islands. We need each other. Men need women, women need men. So let's support each other and help each other grow.
Have you read Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Yes.
Good night. I wish you well.
Good night. I wish you well too.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So that is it. It has been a live stream. with Caroline, and I appreciate her for coming through and having this discussion. If you are here for your first time, just remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell. Say that when you have live streams like as such as this one, you will be in a good position to be notified, and at the same time, just subscribe. I don't know if I'm repeating myself. Comment below where do I need to make some improvements, and I will do the necessary. Thanks for watching. See you in my next live stream.